Before we get started, I just want to say that this is my main channel now. I'm planning on moving all of my gaming content from here on out to this channel. Everything that was on my second channel is going to stay where it is, but that channel is going to become an archive channel. Just a fair warning, this entire video is going to be completely unscripted, which is something I know I struggle with, but I figured it'd be a lot more genuine if I just talked, and background footage is really just going to be just random Apex Legends or peaks of your gameplay or something. I don't even know what it's going to be, but that's not the main part of this video. I just wanted to get something out without having to focus on the editing process. If you're watching this, it means I'm probably coming back to YouTube for at least a little while. This decision was not necessarily an easy thing, to say the least, because it's just... Let me start from the beginning, because it's a bit of a weird story. So a few months ago, after YouTube rolled out their weird AI age verification thing, this was after a lot of problems I've already noticed with YouTube, both on mobile and on their website, where the platform has just been constantly degrading. Getting falsely flagged as underage by the AI was basically the last straw for me, and I just decided I wanted to quit. So I made an Odyssey account, and I basically just moved everything there. And I originally thought I was never going to come back to YouTube. When I did that, there was like this complete and utter lack of motivation to do something that I love doing. And it really hit me hard, because it felt like I'd be starting over from scratch at a disadvantage on a platform that not a lot of people even trust. Like, I have friends who don't trust the website because it's not... I have friends who don't trust Odyssey because it's not really that well known. Like, it's decentralized, but it's only because it uses a blockchain system, which I trust, but I know there's a lot of people out there who probably wouldn't. And, like, that lack of motivation hit me hard, and it, like, I wasn't really sure what to do with that. I realized something about my stance on YouTube as a platform. So, let me give you a few other examples of what I realized. I really like playing TF2, but I'm not boycotting Valve by not playing TF2 just because I don't like the way Valve is treating TF2. I really like playing Apex Legends, and I don't like the way EA is treating Apex Legends, and I'm not boycotting EA by not playing Apex Legends. Like, I can enjoy games like Team Fortress 2 and Apex, even if I don't like the way their developers are treating their games, and I realize the same sort of mindset could apply to YouTube, because YouTube isn't the problem. Google is the problem. The way Google is treating their platform is the problem. So, I guess that's why I'm returning. I'm obviously going to still upload a lot of my stuff to Odyssey, because I'm not sure if I'm going to stay here on YouTube. I still find it hard to get motivated to create stuff these days, and it's been difficult enough to even try to make this video and to record this, like, I guess, glorified rant or whatever. Because, like, so much of, like, my passion for content creation has been taken away by the enshittification of YouTube as a website by a corporation who doesn't really care as much about its consumers or its creators, and just about the advertisers and, I guess, investors, shareholders, whatever. And I'm only returning because I don't want to see YouTube collapse like this, because it feels like a site that has so much potential, and I don't really want that to go to waste. And I know that I'm coming back to a website owned by Google, but I'm hoping I can come back on my own terms. I'm not planning on monetizing anything, and I'm not planning on staying quiet. I'm hoping I can use my voice here is a force for good at some point, just in some way. And I know I don't really have a lot of reach right now, but if that ever changes, I'm hoping I can use it to raise awareness of these issues and what Google's doing to their website, what alternatives there are, what needs to be fixed, etc. Now, there's no real guarantee I'm actually going to stay with YouTube long term. Yes, I'm giving it a second chance, but like if this site betrays me again, I'm probably not going to stick around a second time, which is going to hurt me a lot, but like I could only get screwed over by Google so many times before enough is enough. And Google is consistently driving away its own consumer base by doing what it is doing to YouTube. Like here, let me pull up something from the Odyssey team on the Odyssey website about this, because they put out a message about that earlier. So the following is verbatim a post that the Odyssey team put out on their website about friction between YouTube and its creators and people leaving YouTube for other sites. Quote, "The decline in confidence behind why more and more creators are leaving YouTube. In a post on the YouTube subreddit, a YouTube creator recounts how after years of dealing with warnings, loss of resolution, and degraded thumbnails, he finally decided to migrate to Odyssey. He points to the lack of support outside the partner program, lack of transparency regarding the review process, and the inability to restore videos without re-uploading them, contrasting this with Odyssey's transparency and ad-free monetization options. This is a testimony that illustrates the frustration that many small creators feel today." And the following is an excerpt from the original post on Reddit. This post was by DMX Rated. And the excerpt is as follows, quote, "First off, I am not here to promote the channel I have set up on Odyssey. I am here to promote the Odyssey itself as a competitor to YouTube, after having just had to shop around for a site that will hopefully treat me better as a contributor. The common thread here is that YouTube does not give reliable support to anyone outside of the YouTube partnership program. With the kind of help I've gotten to date, which only ever came from Team YouTube on Twitter, despite the availability of 2 on-site venues, I feel like some lesser peasant begging for scraps as I trudge through on a site that doesn't care about its less profitable users, regardless in turn of how authentic their content may be. My first experience with YouTube's kind of support began years ago. One video and a game playthrough I had got a mature filter and I received a warning, not a strike. Here's what YouTube Help says about strikes and warnings. We understand mistakes happen and you don't mean to violate our policies. That's why the first violation is only typically a warning. To have this warning expire after 90 days, you can take an optional policy training. However, if your content violates the same policies within that 90-day window, the warning may not expire and your channel may be given a strike," end a quote. And the rest of the Odyssey post is as follows. "This growing friction isn't a new phenomenon. It's the result of years of mounting systemic issues. From the 2017 ad apocalypse to persistent technical glitches like degraded video resolution and thumbnail errors, a clear divide has emerged. YouTube's original promise of a platform for everyone has been replaced by an ecosystem that prioritizes high-revenue partners, leaving smaller independent creators to navigate a landscape of diminishing support and increasing instability." End quote. So, what I'm seeing here is that I'm not really alone, and that there's clearly other people who are being pushed out of creating on YouTube. Like, surely you must have heard that there's even plenty of higher up creators out there who don't like what YouTube's doing. Like, who remembers that whole fiasco with YouTube trying to reduce swearing on its platform, and Archie Game just changed every swear to the word YouTube? Like, that was pretty funny for a while, and it really highlighted the pointlessness of it all, where it's like, clearly there's so many other creators out there, big and small, who have issues with the way Google operates this website. And it's becoming clear that either they don't care or we're just not being loud enough for them to care. Part of me really, really wants to believe it's the latter, because there have been times where bigger content creators have spoken out about problems with YouTube and the way Google operates YouTube, and there have been some admittedly minor changes, but at least Google has done something, so it kind of shows that they're sort of listening. And obviously there haven't been any bigger changes, but like, I feel like that may be something we should probably push towards instead. Like I said, this platform deserves so much better, and I don't want to see it wither away and die. Like, in the old days of YouTube, it was just a place for people to put stuff that they made, or put videos that they made, or stuff that they liked, and like, it was just a creative platform for people, by people. And I feel like that's really what YouTube should be, just a creative platform for people to share their own ideas. A long time ago, I was thinking about maybe monetizing my YouTube channel, or I guess previously channels someday, but like, I'm beyond that now. I don't want to give Google a single penny for anything I work on for any reason. I'm not planning on monetizing any of my videos ever. I don't plan on pandering to the algorithm at all. I'm only doing this because I want to create something, and I don't want to lose that motivation again. I don't want to feel that feeling of lost motivation, and I'm hoping that by putting stuff out there, I can at least do something. I can, like, make people happier by giving people some cool stuff to watch. I want to be able to raise awareness of these problems, and, like, I'm doing this as a passion project, but I'm not playing by Google's rules anymore. I want to do this on my own terms, and not on theirs. And I'm honestly hoping a lot of other people are going to be doing the same thing, because the more I raise awareness, my hope is that basically, I'm hoping that by using my voice, it'll let other people know that they can use their voices, and that these ideas will just spread, and more people will know what the problem is, and that we should all come together and fix it. Because it feels like Google knows that there's a lot of problems with this site, and like, they just don't care. And I guess it's because there's so many people who are willing to stick around on YouTube because they believe that there aren't any alternatives, or that nothing is actually going to change. The way I see it, Google believes that us consumers and creators aren't the ones in control. That no matter what happens, there's nothing that we as creators or consumers can do to speak loudly enough to push for any sort of change that might actually be meaningful. That will always end up being a small or ignorable blip that they can just keep pushing aside, and so they can keep getting away with stuff like this. Let's prove them wrong.